I am recording, right? If you need captions on, you can turn them on. I know some of you do. Oh, we just lost. Trevor disappeared. All right. So we're going to start today on something that I was afraid of learning for a very long time. I don't know why I was afraid. There's Trevor. I don't know why I was afraid to learn it. But I'm going to try to teach it to you in a way that I wish somebody would have taught it to me. And that's going to have to do with something called regular expressions, or in the term of art we use is regex, regex. And what regular expressions allow you to do is to create mechanisms in code that can determine if somebody or something gave you a particular pattern of characters, uh, uh, input from a file, whatever it may be, without having to create a long ass series of decision structures or a lot of code. So before I switch over and what do you call it, launch Visual Studio Code, does anyone have any question for me or my friends, the ducks? Anyone? Questions? Nothing in the chat. All right, let me pull a duck out of, there we go, out of the screen. All right, I like doing that. All right, so here we go. And John, thanks for joining us today. All right.
No
So,
problem.
all right, so let's talk, right? Let's start off with stuff we know. Stuff we know, right? Whoops, sorry about that. And I'm going to create a folder. I'll just call it regex, okay? Just for these demonstrations. CD regex. All right. And I'll say code RE for regular expression underscore demo underscore 1.py. Okay. There we go. What do you call it? RE demo 1.py. Pi. All right. I'm going to make my editor a little bit bigger. I'm not happy with that font size. Editor font. What does it say right there? What's that say? 30? Let's just go to 40. Just biggie size right now. Yeah, there we go. All right. So let's say you had a string. We'll call it stuff. What a great name for a variable, Trevor, right? And that string is going to have the letter A in it, just like that. All right? Just like that. And if I asked Michael, not that I'm asking you to answer, Michael, but Michael, how could we determine if the value of stuff is exactly equal to A, right? And Michael would say, Bruce, use a conditional, right? You would say if stuff, right, is exactly equal to A, right? Then you would print out the word, just for now, match. It matched what you were looking for. Else, right, you would say print no match, right? So can we all agree that this decision structure, this conditional, will determine, right, if stuff is the letter A? Can we all agree on that? Michael, since you told,
I'm sitting here nodding my head in agreement with you.
all right. So I'm just going to run it, re demo 1.py, right? And it says match, right? But as soon as we do things like lowercase a, as you know, right, it's no match, right? Because there's no logic in here to determine, right, if it's exactly equal to A. We could, right, say, okay, lowercase a and temporarily convert stuff to lowercase using that string method, right? And yeah, we have a match. All right, cool. But now, right, now that we're able to also probably we'd want to determine that the length of stuff is exactly equal to 1, maybe, right? We want to make sure that stuff is both like lowercase a and the length of it is 1, whatever. I mean, not that we need to do that, but we may need to do that for some odd reason, right? And we still have a match. But as soon as I change this to B, right, we don't get a match anymore, right? I know this is kind of like basic stuff, but I'm leading you all somewhere, all right? I'm leading you all somewhere. What happens if I do B space, right? You'll see that we don't have a match because there is a space here. And if we needed to deal with a space, we'd probably have to also strip, right, off anything, right? And now we'd get a stuff.lower.r strip. There we go. Let's try that. No match. Oh, it's failing here because we're also checking for the length of 1. So you can start to see, right, how when I start to when I need to start matching a very simple pattern here, right? Oh, it's B, that's why. So let's make it A. That's why it was failing also. I heard you yelling at me. So now we're like matching, right? But just know that doing this kind of stuff, especially when you get something like a credit card number or even something like this, right? Where you have a phone number, right? Like this, right? And you're going to need to determine if somebody entered in a valid phone number, right? So how in coding, not just Python, this is not a specific Python functionality, Alex, but how do we write code that's going to like do what we're doing here, but be more like resilient and do stuff where I'm not going to have to like create big decision trees. So imagine again, go back to this phone number. Think about this, right? We have a parenthesis, we have 3 numbers, we have a space, we have 3 numbers, we have a dash, and then we have 4 numbers, right? So like Trevor would be like, yeah, that's going to be a lot of code for us to write in order to determine whether or not somebody entered in a format, right? A phone number in this format, right? Trevor, would you concur?
I would concur.
All right, so I'm not going to write the code to like pattern match this phone number, all right? But let's start off, right? I'm going to go back to A here, right? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all of this wonderful code and I'm going to create a second demo. We didn't do anything with regular expressions in here. This is like old school pattern matching, right? Pattern matching, right? Stuff like that, right? School, yeah, I spelled it like that, all right? So let me create Wes RE underscore demo underscore 2.py. Let me slap this code in here like that. Change the number. But now let's do something where, let's start off where we need to match this particular pattern, right? Let's comment out all this stuff for now. And now I'm going to introduce you to regular expressions. And again, I'm trying to teach it in the way that I wish somebody would have taught me how to do it. And the person, actually, the somebody to teach it to me back when I was not within the last couple of years. And where I learned it really well was from Harvard's David Malin, right? He has a really good lecture on this stuff and it really resonated with me. So here I am today. All right. So regular expressions in Python are a library, built-in library. No need to pip install anything. But if you import the RE library, RE for regular expressions, then it's going to bring in just that, a bunch of pattern matching functionality into your code, right? There it is, just like that. Import RE, okay? So how can we now like write code that's going to determine that somebody typed in the letter A here. All right. Now, I am going to mimic kind of the code below, but let me start off here, right? So I'm going to start off with a conditional using the regular expression library, and then I'm going to use a function, right, inside of the regular expression library called search, right? We're going to want to search that variable's value for the letter A, okay? So if, and we're going to do something in between these parentheses momentarily, but if that condition is true, if it matches, right, what we were looking for, then we'll just print out here, match, kind of like we did before. Else, we will print out no match. Just like that. But now we need to do the work and tell this regular expression search function what to do. So check this out. Here we go. Remember before in the first example, I had to check for the letter A, I had to like strip off stuff. I had to check, make it lowercase, right? But how would we handle this thing right here with a regular expression? So check this out. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to type the letter R, okay? Kind of like you do for F strings, right? You type the letter F, right? And which means like a format string in Python. What R is going to do is going to treat anything that it's going to see next to it in these quotes, single or double quotes, as raw input. If you recall, right, normally if we had a slash n, right, that's a new line, right? And like Python print would print a new line, right? But inside of a regular expression, we want to treat the contents of the stuff between the quotes as literally kind of as a regular expression, dare I say, command, right? Or yeah, I'll just call it a command, all right? Okay, so hold on 1 second. Okay, so what do we do now? What do we do now? We want to match, we want to ensure that the person just typed in the letter A, okay? So notice that line 5, the variable stuff, is a string that has the letter A. So what we do in a regular expression, we type in if I can find the right character here on my keyboard, a caret. That's this thing right there. And that caret says start searching, right? Whatever I give it at the beginning of the string, okay? That's what that caret does. And then you put a dollar sign, which means here's where I want you to end your searching, okay? So the caret means start searching at the beginning of the, of the string stuff, which this expression doesn't know about yet, and start searching up to the end of it. But just know that right now we're only dealing with a string that has one character, okay, which is okay. But check this out. Check this out. Ready? Just for now, I'm going to put a dot there, which means a character, okay, that I want to go to the beginning of this string and look for a character, the letter A, and go up until the end, which is right there, and look for that one character, okay? But notice I need to tell the search function what to look for, right? And what variable do I need to perform this particular regular expression on? Okay. I know this is very cryptic, but you'll start to see as we do more examples how this one line of this one if, right, is going to be able to replace a lot of stuff that we've done in the past, like we started off. So if I run this puppy, right, this is demo 2. Let me just do this. Whee, right? It says we have a match. Whoa. Okay. Wow, that's cool. But as soon as we put a space, we no longer match, right? But I'm going to tell you something right now, right? Check this out. If I change this to Z and I try to run this, anyone have any idea? Is it going to match or is it going to say no match? Remember, this dot says any character. So is Z a character?
Yes.
All right, yes, it is. Is Alex a character? Alex, are you a character?
I can vouch that he is a character based on his conversations during class.
All right.
Yeah, I couldn't hit the mute button in time, but certainly a character.
All right. So ready? Match. All right. So some of you are contemplating, your enrollment in this course because we want to check for the letter that it's kind of an A, but this little expression being that we put a dot here, which means any character. So if I even put a space, let's see what that does. That's a match. If I put just an exclamation point, that's a character. So right now, right, we are not kind of doing what we expected here, which was to match the letter A. So I can now replace that dot, which means any character. It actually means, check this out. What happens if I put A, B, C, just like that? No match, right? Because we only said one character, and I typed ABC, or I can even do 1, 2, 3, as easy as, never mind. There you go. No match, because I was expecting one character. But John's going to say, hey, Bruce, if you put 2 more dots to represent that you want 3 characters, whatever they may be, and I rerun we now have a match because our regular expression says start at the beginning of stuff, and I want you to have 3 characters. I don't care what they are, right? And 1, 2, 3. Okay. So far, so good. So far, so good. Anybody?
Yes.
So, yeah, it's
So
pretty
far, so
amazing.
good.
Yeah, all right. So it'll get harder. Don't worry. It always does. Okay. So check it out. Again, our goal here is to check for the capital letter A, right? So if we replace this and just say, yeah, we want the letter A right there. Let's try this now. Ready? Let me clear it. We got our match. Let me change it to the letter, let me change it to lowercase a. No match. Okay, hold that thought. If we change it to the number 1, right, and we rerun the code, right, we don't get a match because it's not the capital letter A. But, right, so right away, we solved what we did earlier, right? Almost. Unless Wes wants to, also check for lowercase a, but here we only have uppercase a. So literally, right, you remember before, right, we did lower and all that kind of stuff, right? What we can do in the regular expression at the end here is add what we call a flag and say re dot ignore case, all uppercase like that. And what's going to happen now, if I run this code, right, check it out, check, whoops, clear, right? If I run, we now have a match. So line 7 in itself is now written to check, right, for the letter A. In fact, some of you are saying, what happens if I'm the Fonz? A, right? Right? A, right? Bunch of A's. This regular expression says check for 1A, ignore the case. So, Wes, do you think this is gonna match or no match? Sounds like a game show, doesn't it? Match or no match?
I think it would match.
So, Wes, what made you think it would match? Let's talk about that. What made you think that it would match? Was it this, the ignore case?
Well, yeah, and I thought it wouldn't matter how many were in there as long as it found at least one.
Yeah. So Wes, that's that's what I would have thought, right? So right now, right, the value of the variable stuff is a bunch of A's. Pandora's cat, right, sat on the keyboard, right, and our pattern is only looking for one A, right? So we wrote a regular expression to check for one A, right, ignoring the case. In fact, if I just do all A's, right, like that, it's still going to be no match because we're only expecting one, right? One. Okay. So again, you can see here how line 7 is doing a lot of stuff that we'd normally have to, do code gymnastics, right? Or code yoga, whatever, to write all the matches to make sure that, somebody didn't type in this, with conditionals, right? So here's our like regular expression just to check for the letter A. But now, right, there are additional things that you can add into your regular expression. In this case, let's say you want like one or more A's, right? You want the regular expression engine to match whether or not somebody has typed in one A or many A's, as I have here, right? So if I put this asterisk right there, let's see what happens. We get a match because it means, right, one or more. That's what that asterisk means, of A. Okay. Right. So think about that. Think about what you know in coding so far and the fact that somebody asked you to write code to match whether some input or some file contains one or more A's. Okay. One or more A's. Okay. Now let's just change this string to have one A like that. Okay. One A. We get a match. And if we say just that, an empty string, and we run it, uh-oh. What's going on? What's going on, my friends? I don't see any A's there. This asterisk actually doesn't mean one or more. It means zero or more. Zero or more characters that match uppercase A. But what if I change that asterisk to a plus? No match. So what's the difference here? The plus sign says, hold on one second. So we have, let me just clarify here, right? We have no match because that plus sign says one or more A's need to be present. One or more. In fact, let's just go back. We'll put one A in. Okay. Now we have one. Cool. Now let's put a second A in there, right? Still a match, right? And we can put a zillion A's, right? Because our regular expression, right, says one or more A's. Plus sign means one or more of what's in front of it. What's in front of it? Ready? Still a match, right? But as soon as what happens now if I put, my dog's name, Tucker, in there? Anyone? What do you think? Whoops. What do you think's going to happen now? The pattern says, right? One or more A's. Is it going to match? Tough
I'll
one.
go out on a limb and say that it will match.
No match. That's all right, Michael. That's all right, because remember, we're looking, right? So to your point, Michael, right? We want one or more A's and then the end of the string. One or more A's and then the end of the string. Okay. So to Michael's point, now we have like a space, right? And then like Tucker there, right? So notice that our pattern is saying we want one or more A's, okay? One or more A's, and we got no match because the pattern says we want A, ignore the case, and then we want one or more of what precedes the plus, which is an A. And only that, and then you're at the end of the string, right? So even if I just added a single space, right? Still no match. But if I make the string what the pattern is looking for, we get a match. So think about like everything you do on the web, right? When you fill something out, right? And it's expecting something in a certain way, right? Like your browser, when you type in like whatever, right? It kind of wants like a valid web address in there, right? So, well, maybe that's not a good example, but when you like register for a course and you type in like your CTC link ID or something like that, right? It's gonna like know that your CTC link ID should be a certain number of numbers, right? And you know, same thing with you know, just about any form you fill out, we put a phone number in, like I showed earlier, right? We're gonna get to that today. How do we ensure through maybe a forever loop, right? A while loop, right? Infinite loop, that we're gonna keep asking, you know, Wes for a phone number until Wes gives us the a phone number, right, in the format that we desire, right? So let's. Anyone have any like thoughts or questions so far, other than holy, like, like, wow, this cryptic information on line 7 could be our new best friend. Anybody?
Well, I was wondering when you were doing the phone number, because like sometimes when I put in a phone number, I don't put the parentheses, I don't put the dash, I just put the number straight through.
Yeah,
Will
well,
it accept that as I input it, or do I need to go back and fix it?
we write the rules, right? So we'll do that, Michael. We'll write today a regular expression that will give us or give the user the ability to input a phone number in various ways. But again, using a regular expression to do the pattern matching. Okay. Wes, how about yourself so far?
Like it's going to be really hard to remember what all the little characters and everything does. It looks like it's going to stretch my memory thin, to be honest.
Yeah, so I have a neat little thing I'll put into Canvas, which goes over all of these characters and what they do. And I believe it's in the lecture notes for the regular expression module. All right. And Wes, yes, I forget. I got confused, you saw earlier, between the difference between a plus and an asterisk, right? So again, you know, we only get to spend, you know, a short time introducing these concepts. And if you go into web development or computer science, yeah, we'll use these more, and your knowledge will grow over time, and you'll refer to your notes, kind of like I do, or the rubber duck, or the web, or ChatGPT, whatever it may be. I made a rhyme there, or a rap. Okay, Trevor, anything for me?
They seem pretty cool and pretty useful. So I'm looking forward to figuring out how I can use them.
Yeah, for your input. All right. So, um, um, let's just move on just a little bit. So what happens if we wanted to have a space at the end? How would we like do that? And remember, right now, right here, right now, as Van Halen saying, right? No match. But how can I change my pattern to accept a single space at the end? Well, my friends, /S. I know, Wes, I'm thinking about what you said. I just happen to know this, that represents a space, right? /S. That's what in a regular expression. So when you look at this thing, you're like, holy crap, especially as new coders, right? But again, start at the beginning. All right, what I'm about to expect here, I need to interpret because it's a regular expression. I got my quotes. Start at the beginning of the string, look for the A character, and here it says one or more. That's what a plus sign means. And then that one or more A's needs to be followed by one space. Okay, one space. So check this out. Ready? We get a match. What happens if I put two spaces? No match, because our pattern only wants one space. Again, think about this and think about if I asked you to write like a program, right, to do this, right, without knowing anything about, without using regular expressions, right, it would be, could be challenging, right, could be challenging. So remember now, how can I like look for one or more A's, and just to prove this to you, A space, one or more A's followed by a space. All right, is that going to work? Yes, it still matches, right? If I change this to lower, if I make it a B, whoops, no match. Cool. Our pattern is matching the lowercase a followed by a space. But let's just say we don't care that we were expecting something, right, after this space, right? But it can be like 0 or more characters, right? Actually, we want one or more characters. Maybe we want like that. This is not going to match now the way it's written, right? So how can we add to our regular expression here before we get to the end of the string that allows us to have one or more characters? John, what was the thing we started off regular expressions with that allowed us to put any character in a regular expression? Do you remember it?
Was it a period?
Yeah. All right. But we want one or more. So what character would I place here now? John, I'm going to ask you again, what character allows for one or more? We did it earlier at the beginning of the regular expression. It is a
Uh,
plus sign.
plus
right?
yeah.
So again, this is a very cryptic looking thing. Welcome to regular expressions. But now we match. Now what if I put Bruce at the end? We match. What happens if we put just, like that and a capital A, lowercase a, Bruce, Elgort? Anyone? Match or no match? Put your money down. Match or no match?
My money's on Bruce being there. It's gonna match.
Well, remember, this says one or more characters, right? Is a space a character?
Yes.
Elgort's a character? No kidding, right? So let's run it. Let's see, right? Yes, it matches because the pattern says one or more characters, and a space, believe it or not, is a character. So look at that. right? And look at line 5. And if I said, hey, hey, Trevor, I need you to write without knowing regular expressions, a way for a person to enter in, one or more A's followed by a space, followed by one or more characters. Trevor would be like, all right, yeah, dude, I could do it. It would take me a little while, but it would be more than the, 5-6 lines of code that we wrote, right, Trevor?
Oh yeah, it would definitely take a little bit more than
Yeah,
this
it
does.
would. And I'm trying to, I know I'm doing silly examples right now, but we'll get to the phone number momentarily. But now let's just do this now, all right? Now let's just, I'm gonna like take all this code and I'm gonna say code, right? RE demo 3.py. I'm gonna paste in that code just for now. I'm gonna paste in the exact code. I'm gonna get rid of this code at the bottom. I think we're beyond that now. And what I want to do now is I want to like put a forever loop around all of this stuff, okay? I want to put a forever loop, right, around this stuff, because what I'm going to do now is I'm not going to hard code, right, this information. I'm going to ask them to enter uh enter the code words, okay? Whatever, just like that, right? So what I'm doing here is, again, we have a forever loop. We're asking the human for input, saying enter the code word. Our pattern, right, is expecting us to have one or more A's followed by a space, followed by one or more characters. And if that pattern matches, once we print out match, we want to like break out of the forever loop because they gave us what we needed. If it doesn't match, it's going to print out no match and then go back into the loop. I don't need to put the word continue here. It's going to happen automatically. So think about this for a second. Yep, I don't want that. I want 3. This is 3, right? 3, okay. All right, enter the code word, pizza, no match. Enter the code word, burger, right? Nope, no match. But you know what the pattern is looking for. It's looking for one or more A's followed by one or more characters, right? Match, we're done. Right? Right, Wes? This is kind of like, wow. Like, really? Like, line 8 is that powerful to be able to match our weird ass pattern here of one or more A's followed by a space, followed by one or more characters. Alex, what you thinking?
Very
Unmute.
cool stuff.
Yes, I think so. Wes, did you have any thoughts on that, or are you good?
Pretty good. It is pretty cool. No, like I said, the only thing I'm concerned about is like, how am I going to remember all of those things? I imagine it just happens once you code long enough. But
Well, no, again, I have my Obsidian here, which is my note reference, right? And this is kind of my note, right, that I've tagged in my system for regex, Python, and this course. And I always have it, right? But if if you go right to the Google machine, I'll say regex cheat sheet, right? There's a ton, right, of,
I already found
right?
one on Mozilla or no Data Quest. Yeah,
Yeah,
I got one printed in front of me right now because I already thought about that too. I was like,
yeah. Again, cool stuff. Okay, Flannery, how about you? Are you tracking so far of what regular expressions are able to do for us?
Yeah, I am.
All right. Pandora, how you doing? I need more coffee. Pandora, how you doing?
I'm following.
Yeah, this cool stuff, All right. So let's create another example. Let's move on to our phone number, right? Let's move on to the phone number. And I'm going to do code RE demo 4, RE demo 4. Okay. RE demo 4.py. Okay. And remember, what we're going to try to do here is we're going to, again, create a forever loop, because we want the human to enter in, let me just do this, a phone number in this format, right? Maybe parentheses, Michael. Maybe well, we need the area code, maybe the closing parenthesis, maybe a space, and then I think they call this the exchange dash, and then like this is the line number, right? So this is the area code, right? This is a space, maybe, Michael, right? Here is the 3 digits. Here is a dash, maybe, Michael, and then 4 more digits, right? So that's the pattern we're going to need to match in all of these combinations, right? 360-771-8819, right? Or 360-771-8819, right? Or 360-771. Well, I think that's enough for now, right? Those kind of represent, right, how Michael may type in his phone number, right? So again, like how can we get the phone number from a human, right? So we know how to do that, right? We know how to get the phone number from the human, right? Input, right? Enter your phone number, please. We're polite today, right? So we get that phone number, and now we need to determine if the person, right, entered in that phone number correctly. So we use a conditional. We need to make a decision. And then we need to bring back our friend, the regular expression library. So now I need to import that regular expression library, RE. And do me a favor, don't ever name your Python file re.py or math.py, because that's the name of the library and it won't work. So if re dot search, remember that's the function. Remember that we need R. Remember that we need quotes. Remember that we need search, in this case, at the beginning, right, of, I got to find the frickin' caret. There it is, all right? And then we need to go to the end of the string with the $sign. And then we need to tell our regular expression what to search on, phone number. Michael, do you think we need to consider case when we are dealing with phone numbers here? Yes, no? Do we need to ignore case here or not? We have letters. Do we have upper and lowercase numbers?
No.
So we only want like parentheses, and there's no such thing as a lowercase parentheses, at least not yet, right? So I don't think we need anything else other than what we have here, right? But, right, we need to print out match if it's a valid phone number. Else, we're going to continue our pattern, no match, okay? But now we need to write the regular expression. So let's start off. Let's start off with the full Monty here, right? The full Monty. We know, right, that we have a parenthesis, 3 digits, 0 through 9, and a closing parenthesis. Okay. So in my regular expression, right after that caret, I'm expecting a open parenthesis. And now I need 3 numbers. So just to show you, how do we do this? I'm going to show you multiple ways to do this. You put a square bracket, 0 dash 9, and then close it. And that means in this position, I want you to have a number in parentheses, one number that's 0 through 9. In fact, here's what I do, right? By the way, if I match, I need to break out or else I'll be in an infinite loop, okay? Infinite loop, okay? So let's try it, right? Let's test my string here, my code here, and we'll do Python, right? Python. And we'll just type in the letter A. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wow. I forgot something. Okay, hold on. RE dot, let's read the error message. It says, let's see what I did. Unterminated sub pattern. That sounds like a Rush song, right, Wes? That sounds like a song by Rush. Unterminated, let's see. Unterminated, we got R, right? Search, we got the caret. Oh, that parenthesis, okay? So just for now, let's put that right there, okay? I think that's kind of what it wanted. We'll talk about this shortly. I added another closing parenthesis here. Let's just run this again. We need to, we're gonna learn more here. Ready? Parenthesis, A, close parenthesis. No match, right? Let's type in 0, close parenthesis. No match. What's going on? Let's type in 1. No match. So wait a second. What's going on here, right? Why? It says parenthesis, and then the one number in 0 through 9, but parentheses mean something in regular expressions. Okay, so how do we tell a regular expression that we want parentheses? Don't like consider them what you know them as regular expression engine. And remember when we had a space, we did /s. So when we want the regular expression to not use parentheses the way that it wants to, we need to put a slash in front of each parenthesis to say, hey, literally, I want parentheses. Don't use them for what Bruce is going to teach you later on with regular expressions. So now what we're telling our regular expression engine here is to start at the beginning of what the person types in. Literally, you want, this is called an escape character. We want that, literally, we want that open parentheses. Then we want the number 0 through 9 to appear. And then literally, we want you to have a closing parenthesis, and then you should be at the end of the string. So what I need to do, right, is Control-C out of this so I can break out. Let me run my code again. Let me type in pizza. No match, right? I'll use a pizza emoji. Whoops, allow. No match, right? And now I'll type in a parenthesis, the 0 and a parenthesis, and now we match. All right. So now we're starting to begin to see that we can like create a pattern for a phone number that has an area code of 1 digit. So I could then do another set of these square brackets 0 through 9. And honestly, I don't think area codes start with 0. So could we put 1 through 9 here? We want them to begin with 1. I don't even know if we have area codes that begin with 1. But now my pattern wants parenthesis, a number from 1 to 9, and then another number from 1 to 9, and then a closing parenthesis. So again, I'm building my pattern, open parenthesis, the number 1, the number, I don't know, 9 or 8, and then a closing parenthesis. It matches. But if we run it again and we type pizza, no match. If we type in for now, like just 1, 2, 3, no match either, right? Again, we'll have to get there. But if we type in again, parentheses 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, no match. But if we type in 1, 1, we finally match. So again, when I asked Trevor, how could you create like a program to verify that you were going to get a input from a person that had the parentheses, 2 numbers, right, next to one another, and then a closing parenthesis, and then the end of the string. So you know the deal, right? We have to add a third number, 1-9. And now, right, we probably have, right, a pattern in our regular expressions, right? Check it out. Let me run this. Run this. 360. Enter. Uh-oh. I made a mistake. Anyone know what I did wrong?
You
You're
did
not
1
letting
through 9
zeros
instead of 0 through 9 for the second and the third number.
Yeah.
Enter.
So 0 through 9, 0 through 9. Okay, very good. So let's just break out of here for now. Let me clear. Run it. 360. Match. What happens now if I just do 360? No match, because we haven't like done that yet. We haven't done the Michael thing where those parentheses are optional. Okay. So what time is it? It's 10:56. Let's just go a little further and then we'll take a little break. Okay. So you're starting to see how we're not writing a lot of code here. We are writing, to Wes's point, like a string of characters here, and they look cryptic, right? But you see how like I am iterating, right, through, starting with something like starting with matching one thing and then the next thing and then the next thing as I grow my pattern, right? So now Michael is like, hey, Bruce, I don't put those parentheses in sometimes. Like, can you make them optional in a regular expression? And I'm going to say, hey, Michael, yeah, no problem, right? So now what I'm going to do is to add more confusion to learning the regular expressions, right? Is I'm going to say right after that slash parenthesis that you can make them optional, question mark. You can make this thing optional by putting a question mark after it. Yeah, so now when we run our code, again, it's this complex monster, right? This complex regular expression. And now I say just 360, we get our match. And if I run it again with parentheses 360, we also get a match.
So I got a question.
Yeah, Pandora, what's
So if question mark means optional, if you put an exclamation mark, does that mean it's mandatory?
no, these things mean it's mandatory, that we were expecting here a
Okay.
number. Okay, good question.
Would exclamation mark do anything though?
We need to look at our all these different things that can be done inside a regular expression. Let's see. I don't think an exclamation point is a valid character in regular expressions.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's a good question. Yeah, no, I don't think it is. Okay. So, Michael, we're able to now make, right, those parentheses, right, like kind of like optional, right? Now, this one like this one thing within a regular expression is doing a lot for us. Think about it, right? Now, some of you are like, again, Wes, I'm just trying to like understand all these things here. I'm repeating this pattern 1 through 9, 0 through 9, 0 through 9. How many times is the 0 through 9 the same thing? How many times?
It's the same twice.
Yeah. So in regular expressions, you could be very expressive like I did here, or you can replace it with the, again, more characters to say, I need 2 of those 0 through 9s. And notice how I have these curly braces now. So let's test it, right? Let's test it. Here I go. Let's do 360 match. Cool. Let's do 360 match. Let's do ABC. No match. Let's do 36. Let's do 019. No match. Let's do, 561 match. Whoops. So with just this expression, we're able to create a pattern for a conditional and keep prompting the human until they enter in a phone number in the format we wanted. Okay, so we got this done, right? We got this done. We got this done. So looks like we now have to address a space. Does Michael always enter in a space? Does Michael always enter?
He does not.
Yeah, he does not. So again, let's go into our regular expression. Let's go right before the dollar sign because that's where we are right now. And if you recall, how do we represent a space in a regular expression? What's the 2 characters I need to type here? What are the
I thought
2
it was
characters?
a dot, but
No, a dot is any character,
okay.
but we want a space here. Slash,
Slash S.
Yes.
yeah, slash S, right? Now, wait a second. Michael sometimes will type that in and other times he will not. So what do I need to place after the slash S to accommodate making it optional?
Isn't that question mark?
Yeah, there you go. All right, so now this ugly ass pattern, yeah, I said it. Let's test it, right? Let's do 360 space match. Cool. Let's do 360 space no match, right? And again, Trevor's still busy working on the first set of code. Let's do 360 space. And now let's do 360 no space match. All right. So slowly, right, we're working our way through this sucker and providing our regular expression, right? Again, when you first look at this, and I know you're still looking at it saying WTF, right? But again, you start at the beginning. That's what that means. You are, oh, you see a slash here. So that means kind of the thing next to it, right? Needs to be taken literally, which is a parenthesis, and it's optional. And then you need a character that happens to be the numbers 1 through 9. And then you need next a character that's 0 through 9, and you need 2 of those. And then you literally need a closing parenthesis, which is optional. And then you need a space. Remember, the S means space and /S means literally take this as a space. Oh, that's optional. Oh, and then you're at the end of the string. Okay. So believe it or not, let's just keep going. Even though I need coffee, if that's okay, let's just keep going a little more, right? And now we need to deal with numbers, right? So now after the space, I need a series of numbers. So how do I do numbers again? This, 0 through 9, is that acceptable?
Yes.
Actually, let's just do 1 because I don't think an exchange can start with a 0, right? So how many of them do we need? How many of those do we need? How many?
Well, for that particular one, you would need just one.
No, be careful. No,
Well,
we need 3 valid numbers after the zip code.
But isn't it that the first number cannot be 0? So it has to be 1 through 9, and then the subsequent numbers can be 0 through 9?
Oh, so Michael is like Bruce. That's correct. So Michael said, yeah, the first number has to be 1 through 9, but then the last 2 numbers can be 0 through 9. And how many do we need of these? How many?
6 more? 7
No.
more? Nope, 6 more.
We just need, we're working on this part right now.
Oh,
Because
2 more.
yeah, 2 more, right? So here we say those squiggly braces and 2.
And Bruce, I'm not sure if you caught it, but you have 0-0 instead of the 0-9.
Yeah, there it is. Thank you. So let's test it, right? Let's test it. Let me move the Zoom window thingy, right? So now let's just do 360, no math, because now we have we need these other things and when they're not there. So let's do 360 771, enter, match. Okay, let's do it whoops, as I drool on my shirt. Let's just do this. 360 771, Michael's in a rush, match. Let's do this now. 360, no space, 771. It also matches. So again, I want you to just think how, if you had to write this, right, as regular Python code, you'd be pulling your hair out, right? That's why I don't really have any, right? And you learn to write these expressions, right, that are extremely powerful, okay? And you
So-
go ahead, Wes.
Sorry, I have one question just because I
Alex.
noticed how long our line is getting here. And I know from what I've been reading lately that it looks like a moving target as far as what the Python style guide says, like maximum characters in a line is. So what I wonder is when I see this, how do we break it out? Will style 50 break it out onto multiple lines for us? Or can you show us where in the syntax it breaks?
Yeah,
Like cleanly?
so here's what it suggested, Alex, to your point, right? Let's apply the change, right? So I don't know what it changed on me. It didn't change anything yet, but Alex, let's just keep going and let's see where style 50 takes us, right? Because as you know, right, there are multiple styles for Python code, right? There's the black formatter, there's Pepe, there's I just forgot all the various styles. But what Alex is saying is, Bruce, when this line gets too long, right, is there a way to put some type of character here where it will put it on the next line automatically? But and I believe it's 80 characters wide, Wes, just so you know, but let's just carry on a little bit further, all right? Alex, let's just carry on a little bit further, right? So we're all the way up to here. We have this, we have this, and we have this. Mazel tov, everyone, right? That's pretty freaking amazing if you think about it. Again, we started off kind of with the same amount of code I started class off with today, but now we're checking the various ways that Michael enters in a phone number, right? Into a field, right? But we don't have that much more to do. Let's carry on, all right? So after those two numbers, Michael may or may not enter in a dash. And I'll put a question mark. All right. So let's try it now. We just added in the additional pattern matching for the dash 360771 dash. That should be valid. Cool. Let's say that Michael doesn't enter in the dash 360771. Enter. That matches too. I know this stuff is mind-blowing, and just know that there's a site called regex101.com, which I'll probably talk about on Monday when we do more with regular expressions. That'll help you a lot. But all right, we're getting there. But now we just need 4 more digits, 0 through 9, right? So digits 0-9, and we need 4 of them. We use curly braces. And I think, right? I think we may have done this. I think 360-771-8819. Match. Let's just do it again the way I would do it. Match. Let's do it again. Let's do 503-867-5309. Match. Let's do it. 360-771-8819. Match, right? Let's do it 360 space 771 space 8819. No match. Huh. So we didn't have that up here, but what happens if we did 360 771 space 8819? Don't get me wrong, we wrote a pretty complex expression here. And by the way, let me run style 50 on this sucker. No, it's okay with it this way, just so you know, Alex, at least for now, okay? But how do we handle whether Michael types in a dash or a space? A dash or a space. So look carefully. We said that that dash may or may not be there. We can't have a dash and a space. We just need a dash or a space.
When you do the /x question mark,
What is /x?
right where the
But
right
what
where you are?
what is there a /x matches XS matches ASCII hexadecimal characters.
S as in Sam.
Oh, I'm sorry. So hold. We either need a dash or, right? So how the heck in regular expressions do we do this or that, right? We want to make a dash or a space.
Or no space?
Or no space. So check this out. Here I go. I'm going to put a bracket around that dash like that. And now I'm going to put a vertical pipe. And then I'm going to put /s. Which says that you can either have a dash or
Wow.
a space, and it's optional.
I'm not even being sarcastic. That's really cool.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, it is super cool. Ready? 360-771-8819. Cool. Matches. All right. Let's do it. 360 space 771-8819. Match. Let's do it. 360-771-8819. Match. Let's do it as 360-771-8819. Cool. Let's now do it. 360-771 space 8819. No match. Okay. 360-771-8819. Match. And just know, right? That this, as like everything else we're going to learn, can be written in like a simpler way. And it took me a long time, right, to be able to talk to you like I'm talking to you now about like coding a pattern to match Michael, the way Michael enters in a phone number, right? So what I want to do, and I'm going to do this today, maybe we'll I'll do one more example and then we'll call it a day. Okay. I know Alex, Alex, I'm going to see you tomorrow. We'll talk about that later. Okay. In a good way. That's like, Alex, we're going to talk tomorrow. So I'm going to copy all this code. I'm going to copy all this code, John, and I'm going to say code re demo 5.py. re demo 5.py. I'm going to slap all that code in there. And we're still going to work with this code, but I'm just going to show you just a way to shrinky dink it down. Okay. You see this 0 through 9 here? You see that 0 through 9, right? And there's 2 of them. What if I just do /D for digit? 0 through 9. Let's try that. Just that. I put a /D for digits. Let's try
This is quick question.
Quick
Maybe
answer.
out of the scope of the course, but digit, 0 not a digit?
But we're allowing zeros in
Oh, we
the,
are. Okay.
yeah.
That's right, because it's the next 2 digits. Sorry.
Yeah, no
Okay.
worries. Hold on. Python. Okay. 360-771-8819. Match. Cool. Right. Let's try it again. Let's break it. Let's do 0 0 0 0 8675309. No match. Okay. So we replace that, right? The 0 through 9. We could do it here too, right? /D, right? And over here, we need 4 digits. And I know, I know this is like very cryptic. As long as you start reading it from the beginning and knowing, right, and having your cheat sheet available, what all these things do, I think now, let me just crash that sucker. 360-771-8819. Cool, match. 360-771-8819. Cool. 360 space 771 space 8819. Cool. So we
So
created,
that's really cool. One question that comes up for me is in the idea of Python, right? It being readable, or maybe not readable, but like, you know what I mean? Because I can imagine never having seen a computer before. If I picked it up, readability is a far off goal, right? But if I do have some understanding of the context, I should be able to, let's say, like take it apart based off comments. Okay, that's my understanding. That's what I'm like shooting for when I'm commenting code, is giving somebody else with the basic understanding the ability to take it apart. So how, looking at this line here, how does one comment that
Yeah.
line in such a way that it gives
So-
someone some insight?
yeah. So Alex, to your point, this is not Python specific.
Ah, okay. That does make sense.
right? This regular expression is like a known industry standard, right? So watch this. If I take, right, this code right there, that code right there, okay? And I fire up regex101.com, okay? This is a site you can like sign up for, right? And you can actually paste in your regular expression, and then it tells you, right,
Nice.
what your regular expression is expected to do. And then you can go here and type in 360-771-8819, right? And it will tell you, where does it tell you? Match, right? It match, see? Right?
That's cool.
Now, if I just type in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? It's no match. Okay.
And it shows on all the steps too. That's really cool.
See, and it shows you where the matches are up here, right? So now 360-771-8819, right? See?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really cool. Okay.
So could you just leave regex101.com as a comment above the above the line? Is that something you would say? Or like basically how would you describe its inclusion? Because like when we talk about the library being imported, that's like a really easy, simple Python comment, you know, showing me what the interpreter's doing and like what I should expect back. So like with this one in particular, I mean, I see no problem with just putting URL in there, but what is it, just regular expression and
Yeah.
I guess kind of
regex,
just spell out what you're looking to get?
yeah. I mean, you have to type it in, right? You have to type it
Right.
in. There may be a builder in here. There are some sites, right, that'll help you build the regular expression, right? But here you could do it like before you tackle an assignment, right? If you know the assignment's going to have you build something to check like YouTube URLs or something, you can build it. You can start building it like right in here, right?
Wow, yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah,
My
it is. It is
I'm
super
thinking a
cool.
lot about crawling and scraping and other cool stuff. That's really neat.
Yeah, hold on one second. I'm going to see if I have my, I don't have it in here actually. No, where? No, I have a series of ones that I have. It's tied to GitHub, just so you know. But there you are, right? So, there's one more thing that I want to show you. Let me just see who's okay. We did a lot of stuff with numbers here, right? Right, and you saw me like use 1 through 9, or I use /d 0 through 9, right? There are actually modifications to all these that allow you to like specify, like you saw me here 1 through 9, right? I could do 5 through 9, right? But there's also the same thing with letters, right? So check this out, right? Let's just do one last demo, right? One last demo. This is heavy stuff. Let me do code demo 6 re demo 6.py. Let me import the regular expression library. And let me just go back and let's say you want to match. Here's what we want to match. We want to match 3 letters, right? 3 letters, like I'll just put XXX, right? Actually 3 letters, XXX. And then they can be any letters, right? Let's just say then we wanted 2 numbers, right? And then we wanted a dash, and then we wanted like 5 more numbers. All right. Yeah. Wow. A different type of pattern, right? An example of this would be BLEOO dash 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Maybe it's a part number for an airplane or whatever you need to match, right? So how would you like match that, right? So, right, what I would do, let's do it in the regex 101. How's that sound? All right. So we need 3 letters, right? So we need 3 letters. I need to make this biggie size, right? Hold on one second. Okay, there we go. Okay. Let me, so I need to type this in. So I need like three letters, right? So, I need to start at the beginning, right? Let me type this in here if I can get it right. I need to start at the beginning and then I need 3 letters, right? So I could do A through Z, A through Z, oops, A through, I can't type today, kids. Z, is that right? A through Z, right? And if I type in here ABC, right? Is it matching? Oh, no, I need to go to the end, okay? It's not matching. Anyone? What's going on? I only have 1, so A. Is it matching? It's not matching. What's going on? What's going on? Why isn't it matching?
Uppercase.
It's uppercase. There you go. Okay. So let's do, there's probably something in here to ignore case. Let me just zoom in here so I can see it. Hold on.
Insensitive right there up at the top. Yeah. Case insensitive match.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, there we go. Insensitive. Okay. So now let's do, and we match. All right. So
And
cool.
I missed what it threw in there. What it throw in there? The dollar sign or the
No,
the up caret?
yeah, it threw the carrot, right?
Okay.
Like here, and it says, I'm telling it to use multi-line, which I really don't need right now, but insensitive. And the way we do that in Python, right, is with that, that we haven't done it in a while, but it's with that re.ignore case like we did earlier, right? So this is not Python. That's something in the Python library that adds the insensitivity.
But what about when you click over in that flavor? Like, what's that flavor do? Does that put a Python flavor on it over to the left? That sub menu?
This thing?
No, over to the left. Or yeah, if we're looking at the screen, it's the left. For some reason, I tried to put your perspective on it. Over to the left, one more, and then down. Flavor. It says
Flav.
PCRE2 PHP, and then down there they got.
Yeah.
Oh, look
So
at
now
that.
it puts the R. There you go.
That's
Thank you.
cool.
Yeah. All right. So check this out. So remember, we're trying to get this pattern. So let's just do it all here. So you know the drill. So now A through Z, right? I could repeat that like 3 times, but let's go to my notes. Is there a way to put just matches at the start of a string? Is there a way to get like characters, right? Characters. Let's see. Matches white space, matches anything but white space, matches digits. Capital D matches anything but digits, right?
But that'll
Which-
let you throw symbols too, right?
Yeah.
Or what?
W matches letters, digits, and underscores. Uppercase W matches anything but letters, right? Let's see. Right? So it doesn't kind of look like at least matches anything but digits, equivalent to anything but 0 through 9, matches digits, matches anything but white space characters. So just for now, right? Let's go back here. Sorry for the whirly stuff. And let's just put 3 of the letters, right? A through Z. And if I go here, B, C, right? We match, right? We match, right? And if I go D, we don't match, right? So cool. We got our expression going. Let's go back now. Now we need 2 numbers. That's easy, right? So before the dollar sign, we need /D, and we need 2 of those. Right, so I put /D and then the braces. I know it's hard to see. Let me see if I can go. There we go. Okay. And now I can do A, B, C, 1, 2, and 1 match. Okay, good. That's cool. But if as soon as I do 1, 2, 3, no match. All right, cool. We're getting our regular expression in shape. Now we need the dash, which is required. So that's easy. Just put the dash before the end of the string, test it, match. Cool. Now let's go, and we need like 5 numbers, right? That's easy, right? We know how to do that. We need /D for digits, and we need 5 of them. Match. 1. There we go. So now what we do is we take this pattern, right? We copy it. Now that we have it working, we're not dealing, we get our pattern to match first, which is cool. And now we go here and we do our stuff. We're going to get a part number. I'll do the while loop. I'll get the part number from John as an input. Enter part number. Right? Oops, like that. And then we'll say if regular expression search. Now let's see what it gives us. All right, so we still need the R and we need this stuff, but now there it is, right from that program. We need to tell it what to search, part number. If it matches, print found. Found part number, right? We'll break out of the loop. Else, print. We could not find part number. Please try again. Right, so let's try it. Let's run that code. Okay, so it needs to be in the format of 3 letters, BLE. I got to deal with case. I haven't dealt that yet. 1, 2, right? Dash 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could not find that part. Let's look again. 2 numbers. So BLE 00 dash 5 digits. What did I do wrong here? BLE 1, 2 dash 5 numbers. So it doesn't appear to be working, does it? Let's make sure. R, quote, beginning of the string. Oh, anyone see it?
Yeah, that has to do with case insensitivity. Is that right?
Yeah,
Or is
so
it-
what flag should I add here in Python? That's part of the regular expression library.
we just
RE,
talked about it. What was it? Insensitive or ignore?
ignore case. Yeah, welcome to like all these different languages. But let's do it again now. And I'm not questioning my own code when that happens, right? So now I'll do lowercase BLE 1, 2 dash 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Found that part. Let's do it again. ABC 00 dash 99999. Found it. And let's just now just do a pizza, right? We could not find that part. Try again.
I can see this being extremely useful in the world of quality control and inventory and things of that nature. This is just so super cool.
Yeah, Michael, believe it or not, in web development, in a form, we can put a regular expression in a form to make sure that the person filling out the form is giving us the data. Maybe when you took HTML, you learned how to do a first name, last name, a state, whatever it may be. But we could also, here, check this out, and then we're done, right? HTML input regular expressions, right? So check this out. Tip, learn more about regular expressions. So you can, right, in a field, right, put a regular expression, input pattern, regex exp. So check this out. Let's see if we can figure this out. Look at this thing. Here is a form that has a regular expression pattern that has one character. Well, oh, but wait, there's a syntax here to the left of it. So this syntax says dot, curly braces, 8, comma. And what this means is, I didn't show this to you. This means a character, as John alluded to earlier, any character, and then 8 or more. That's what this 8, comma, nothing. You can specify the minimum amount and the maximum amount you want of a character. And this, here, check this out, right? Here's a field, right, on a web form. So it wants 8 or more characters, ABC. Submit. Please match the specified format. So it wants, right, 8 or more characters, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. It accepted it, right? You see that, right? Password equals 1, 2, 3. That's what I typed in, right? So now if I do it again, let's run, and I type in here 1, 2, 3. Nope, no good. I type in just a crap ton of information. It allowed it, right? So this is how we would use in web development regular expressions in a form input, okay? All right, it's 11:36. This is a mind-bending topic, but it's something, like I told you, that a lot of coders I know are afraid of it. And it's just like, no, it's like, it's approachable. It really is approachable. Use regex101.com to build your expression. And think about like just crazy ass patterns that programmers kind of have to match to make sure and guide people to enter in the right information, right? That's regular expressions. Or you could do it the Trevor way and just write, 400 lines of code just to kind of do what we did before. Not 400, but my code would be 400 lines. But you want to save, time, money, and your hair learning regular expressions, all right? So given that, I need you all to read the announcement as I spoke of before we went on the air. And anyone have any parting words, thoughts, or questions about regular expressions before I stop the recording for today?
Well, mine isn't exactly a question, but it's something but I do want to talk about the lab afterward.
The what was that, John? I'm sorry.
It's not really a question, but I want to tell you something about the lab.
About the
lab number 6.
Yeah, you can tell it to me now if it's information that everyone can benefit from, right?
Yeah, sure.
All right, go for it.
Okay. So, as I come through the lab and I got near end of it and I did check 50. For some 50, I got to do all the testing correctly, but for some reason there is a frowning face that said correct working.py passes all test working checks, failed to execute program due to segmentation faults.
Oh my gosh, John, is this the certificate one? Is this the one that prints out text on a shirt?
Uh, n- no, this is the working.
Oh,
No,
the
this is the
work.
working one.
Yeah, all right. So John, yeah, let's you and I take a look at that after class, all right?
Yeah.
I may have to because you're the first one to do it. I want to just make sure that my tests don't have to be updated, all right?
Okay.
So let me do this. Let me look at that today and I'll get back to you on Slack about that, all right?
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Trevor, parting thoughts on your new friend, regular expressions.
They seem useful, but it'll take some getting used to them.
It will. And hopefully, I approached it delicately. I know we went like, wow, right? But how do you validate a phone number, right? How do you create a custom part number and validate that, when Michael is entering stuff, you do the right thing, right? How do you get the phone number in the format you want, right? Yeah. All right. So on Monday, we'll have part 2 of regular expressions. We'll go through the problems that you're being asked to solve. And some of them I love all those problems. I do now because I know and understand regular expressions, but we'll talk through them, all right? So I'm going to stop the recording, which is stopping right now.